Welcome back, everybody, to the Houma Bobcats Teambuilder Dynasty here in College Football 25. We enter the episode coming off 2 straight losses to now top 20 ranked teams. We lost against Michigan on the road 17-3, and we lost against Iowa State in a very high-scoring affair, 42-34 after our best offensive day of the year. That will take us into our first Sun Belt Conference game, coming against South Alabama in week number 6. But first, we've got 2 weeks worth of recruiting to get through before we can jump in that game. So let's dive right in. Last episode, we got our first commitment of the entire series. It's the star tackle Reggie Cole out of Mississippi. Now, verbal commits can decommit prior to signing day, so we cannot just forget about Reggie Cole. We are going to have to hope that schools like Ole Miss and, State don't end up trying to steal him away prior to signing day, but let's focus here on J.R. Lehan. We have him up to pretty much fully scouted, like across the board. We know his motivations are athletic facilities, coach stability, and proximity to home. So we're going to try and focus on a hard sell this time around instead of sending the house. And we're going to choose team player, which just match all 3 of those motivations. That's going to be our hard sell strategy. And then we'll add 10 more points with DM the player just to confirm that we get him. And I also do want to schedule a visit just to make the odds even higher. We already have people visiting on week 9 against Troy. Now we could still use that same week because it wouldn't be a competitive visit for the quarterback or the tackle that we have visiting on that game, but we could also just do it for a completely different game like ULM, and I'll do it for week 13 against the Warhawks. And the activity we'll use will probably be a family visit because that is the highest grade for us for all 3 of those motivations. Now looking through the need scholarship list, we have several players here that we have not given ones to. We only have 12 scholarships offered so far. I feel like we got to get some of these corners scouted, so let's go ahead and focus on them. I'm going to offer a scholarship here to Alton Shed. And then we'll also use some influence in terms of contact friends and family. Now we got 40 hours left. We'll finish scouting Gordon Godfrey. It looks like he's got 83 speed, not the fastest guy in the world. We're just not going to get great corners here, unfortunately for us, so our defense is not going to have a big improvement in the secondary, except if we get a guy like J.R. Lehan in the third level of this defense. He's got 1 offer already from New Mexico State. We'll offer a scholarship to Godfrey here, and we will crack his top 5. Now, if we want to make his top 3, probably got to add some more influence here too, and we'll go with DM the player to save 5 hours to spend on 1 more scholarship offer. And that's going to be for JP Maddox, who right now has us number 1 on his school board. And we'll do that. And he has already committed just based off of the scholarship just straight away. We don't even have the guy scouted, but we got to get more corners in this class. So there's 1 more commitment for you right there, J.D. Maddox. Lehan has reached his top 3 schools, and we are still number 1 easily as the only school to offer a scholarship. We're probably very close to getting Lehan on this team. The same goes for Jason Gallimore, the scrambling quarterback. At tight end, we're also number 1 for LaShawn Gray. And right now, we're top 5 for David Udoh, an athlete/running back, and another tackle, Chase Nickerson. But we have a long way to go before we can crack his top 3, and 2 of the schools have already offered him scholarships. I am going to scout Udoh real quick and see how good he is. He's got 85 speed, a really good juke move right out of the gates, pretty solid agility as well, and he's going to have pretty good change of direction as well at 86. I definitely like this guy a lot. We'll offer him a scholarship and try and move up his board. We'll also throw in some hours for DM the player. We have a pretty good idea about Nickerson here. I think he could still be a pretty good pass blocker for us in a year or 2. I'll offer him a scholarship, and we'll also try and use maybe search social media and see if we can just move up his board a little bit further. Not going to throw the book at him yet. And for Jalen Abiamiri, we're still first with South Miss kind of close behind us. And I think we'll stay here for now, but I do want to get him probably a softer hard sell relatively soon once we crack his top 5. But back to our game of the week, we are playing the South Alabama Jaguars in our first ever Sun Belt Conference game. They are led by quarterback Gio Lopez, who has some pretty darn good speed. He's also got some really good play action skills at 85. He's a good ball carrier with good vision. He can throw on the run pretty well and has really good short accuracy too. Nothing really stands out too negatively for him unless he is throwing the ball under pressure. So really tough matchup there for us with a guy that can really break the game open in multiple ways. On the ground, they got another fast guy here in their running back, Braylon McReynolds. In the backfield, their impact player on offense, though, is DJ Thomas Jones, who comes in as a sure-handed, really good route-running tight end. He's almost maxed out completely for his ratings. And then on the outside, you got Jamal Pritchett, who is probably going to play mostly in the slot for them because of his pretty poor release, but he's got 95 acceleration, 90 speed. These guys are very quick on this offense, including Devin Voisin, their number 2 receiver, who is a very good short and medium route runner, 87 catching, pretty good catch in traffic, pretty good awareness, just good IQ overall. And funny enough, his twin actually plays on the defense. Jaden Voisin is the number 1 player on this roster, and he's going to play at free safety in their 3rd level. He's got 85 zone covered, and still has a long way to go before he can actually get maxed out. So these guys are really impactful. They're quick. They're really good across the board. And it's going to be a tough matchup for this Houma Bobcats team, which comes in having lost 2 straight games. But here we go. Back at home at Cypress Grove Stadium. They will kick things off, and the Bobcats will start with the ball from their 25-yard line. Houma starts through the air. They bring pressure, and the first pass of the day is caught by Scooter Page for a 9-yard gain. Gonna have to work through the air and on the ground against this stout Jaguars defense if you want to win this game here today. We go right to Strickland, but the ball comes out, and it is recovered by the Jaguars on just the second play from scrimmage. Jarred loose by Dalton Hughes, and South Alabama takes over at the 39-yard line in Houma territory already. They'll start through the air with the play fake, going right for the end zone, but it's batted away by Terrell Pace. Just trying to capitalize on that turnover almost immediately. They fake it to Reynolds once again. And now taken off, it's Lopez, but he does not get any yards. In fact, it's a sack for Jerry and Love. 3rd and 10. Lopez scanning and taken off, and he's gonna nearly get the first down, but he's undercut by Noah Collins Jr., and their offense will stay out there on the field. Back to throw again, and now taken off again. Lopez fights through Chase Freeman for the first down. Another play fake. Looking for the back pylon, out of reach for Jamal Pritchett. A lot of passing here early on for South Alabama, and Lopez somehow evades the pressure from Taj Coles and gets rid of it before he can be taken down. Another 3rd and long. Pressure gets home this time, and the ball comes out, but he recovers his own fumble. Taj Coles and Deshaun Weeks with the dual sack on that play, the 5-yard loss. That leads to a 50-yard try from their kicker. It is up and good from Laith Margin. And South Alabama leads off of the Strickland fumble 3-0. On the 25, Olsen's pass is once again hauled in by Scooter Page, his favorite target in these first 5 weeks. Now we hand it off, up the gut. Strickland fights for around 5 or 6, as Lardarius Webb is down for the count for the Jaguars. Back to the air. We're going to check it down on the outside, or we're going to lose a yard with that Strickland reception. 3rd and 6. Screen play, and nobody picks up Boyson, and he makes the tackle to end this Houma drive. Now, I have thought about the current issues with Coach Mode because there are definitely some drawbacks to using Coach Mode in Dynasty so far. Like, one major drawback is that quarterbacks that we control will never scramble outside of the pocket. They will only stay in the pocket and throw the ball. So you pretty much get no mobility from your quarterback. Now, I could take control of him and make him run sometimes, but I would rather, the coach mode be better, obviously. So I'm kind of considering potentially doing slow sim for a couple of games and seeing how that looks, and maybe switching to either the base set for Heisman if I'm going to play the game, or sticking with All-American on the base set for those slow sim games, because that is a pretty good pretty good CPU versus CPU idea, which, this series is all about, building this team and having the recruits matter more than my own gameplay. So if I do end up taking control, you can expect more turnovers for sure from the quarterback. But if we do CPU versus CPU and slow sim, which is just from a broadcast angle essentially, then we have less control over the plays being called. But you do get the authentic experience of seeing the team that you've built, the guys that you have recruited, play on their own. And that is kind of what I prefer in these kinds of series, because it's more about the players, not about, how much my skill affects the outcome of the game. So give me your thoughts down below on what you want to see going forward. Do you want to see one game and slow sim and see how it plays compared to these other ones? Because it could be a pretty fun experience. I haven't really tried that yet in this series, obviously, so I don't really have that much experience here in this game doing that. But in Madden, I've used it plenty of times, and it's been very, very fun with very back-and-forth games, pretty even games for the most part. So, that could be a way to get a lot more variety in this series. But Olsen goes down here on 2nd down. It's going to be a pretty big loss with Vincent Dobson picking up that sack. We go to the second quarter. It's 3rd and 14. It's still 3-0 South Alabama. Olsen checks it down outside for McLawler, and we only gain 3. And once again, Houma has to punt the ball away. RPO here on 1st and 10. That's going to be a first down for Javon Ivory. Back to throw. Lopez over the middle. This is DJ Thomas Jones with a pretty big gain of 30 up inside the Houma 20-yard line. Will stay in the gun. They fake it to Voisin, and Lopez is going backwards. That's a loss of 3. Other than Claiborne on that tackle for loss. Another RPO screen out to Ivory inside the 10-yard line to bring up 3rd and 4. Lopez checks it down to Thomas Jones, and he is tackled inches short of the first down. And this time, the Jaguars will settle for a field goal on 4th and shorts. It's once again good from Marjan, and it's 6-0 South Alabama. So no Sunbelt Conference points for us so far, with 7 to play in the first half. Trying to establish the ground game with Strickland, but so far it hasn't been that effective as compared to most of our other games this season. But now he does find a hole and a first down across our own 40-yard line. Screen set up here for Javian Foreman, and he gets 9 out of it across midfield to bring up 2nd down and shorts. A 7-for-7 start for Tyler Olsen. He's back to throw, but he hung on too long, and he had 2 receivers open on the right side of the field, just never saw him. Ari Strong picks up his first sack of the game right there. And now we got another 3rd and long, like our 3rd or 4th of the game, and Olsen can't get the screen pass off cleanly. Once again, just holding on a little bit too long in the backfield. Empty luck on 1st and 10. That one's knocked away by Chase Freeman. They give it on the ground to McReynolds. He's tackled for a short gain. They got to get to the 28-yard line. Lopez evading pressure. The ball comes out, and once again, South Alabama's on top of it. That's twice that we forced a fumble but cannot get to it. But we do take over at their 44-yard line thanks to a pretty bad punt. Olsen taking his time and eventually just throwing this one out of bounds. We got to score on a drive like this with this good starting field position. We cannot let this drive go to waste. But now we have another 3rd and long coming up. This Jaguars defense playing pretty solid here in pass cover despite the good start for Olsen through the air. We gained 7 here on the Foreman reception to bring up 4th and 3. And that pass does get Olsen over 1,000 yards on the season through the air. And Houma stays out there on 4th and short here in no man's land. Olsen trying to find CJ Peaks on the outside, but it's jarred loose and incomplete. And once again, Houma fails to score. They give it to McReynolds on their first play from the 38s. And now Quincy Blue, our starting safety, is shaken up on the play. He will have to exit. RPO out to Jamal Pritchett this time. He's got the first down. Pre-snap motion on 1st and 10 from midfield. The pass is caught by Devin Voisin. Another 9-yard pickup. We're going to let Quincy Blue heal up and return later on here in this game. Time to throw. Lopez is all day, and he eventually just has to throw it out of bounds, but not a whole lot of pressure on this drive, at least. We're trying to bring some here, and we finally get home to end the drive. It's Bubba Van Claiborne with the sack. It's already like our 2nd or 3rd here of the first half. And that will force a punt by South Alabama. Houma comes out from their 24-yard line. We're going to start through the air. Olsen checks it down underneath to Scott McLawler, and he will move the chains for another first down. We're taking a 3rd and 6 with under half a minute to go in the first half, and Scooter Page is tackled 2 yards short of the first down, and the offense stays out there once again. 4th and 2, it's caught by Demetrius Williamson. Both teams 6 first downs here in this game, but the score is the difference, and Ian Welsh trying to make a long-range field goal absolutely shanks it. And that will send us to halftime scoreless, just like against Michigan 2 weeks ago. No idea why the crowd is wearing black. We are not wearing the blackout uniforms in this game. We have held them to only 3.7 average yards per play. We have more than them, but we have not gotten in decent field goal range or close to a touchdown at all. And so far, the offense just has kind of been sputtering the entire first half. Got to start strong here in the second, but it's our defense that comes out first. More pre-snap motion. They fake it to Ivory, I believe, and he is tackled out of bounds after a 2-yard loss. Lopez, clean pockets, and Thomas Jones picks up 7 to set up 3rd and 5. A lot of passing here by the Jaguars. This is caught by Andrew Bench. And they're all the way across midfield. Trying to push the tempo here in this opening second half drive. The handoff to McReynolds. Wrapped up by Bowie. Empty look. On the slant, it's Ivory once again. He's been the top target here in this game so far for Gio Lopez. Now they fake it on the jet touch pass and go right back to another receiver, but it's going to be another loss of yardage. Just inside the Houma 40, McReynolds with the carry inside the 35 now. 3rd and long. 4 wide set. Lopez, plenty of time to throw, and he's got a man open inside the red zone. That is Voisin with the grab, his 3rd of the game. Now a little pump fake and a screen for Andrew Bench. Gain of 3. Lopez looking for the end zone and nearly got picked off that deflection. But Solomon could not hang on. How many times have we dropped interceptions here in this series so far? It's been a lot, like at least 4 that I can recall, 2 of which came in our first game of the season. But we do hold them to another field goal, and it's wide to the left from Laith Marjan. And the score stays 6-0 South Alabama. Houma takes over from the spot of that missed kick at the 20-yard line. On the ground, Strickland up the middle, finds some room. That drive, by the way, by the Jaguars took off over half the quarter from the clock. That's another dump off that goes nowhere for our quarterback, and it's 3rd and 10 once again. So many long third downs for the offense here in this one. Olsen taken down again. The 3rd sack for South Alabama. And right now the offense just cannot get anything going in either half. Under 3 to play. Couple of fakes, and now Bench goes to ground to make the grab. It's an 8-yard gain on 1st and 10. Now it's a keeper, and Lopez fooled the entire defense. They're back inside Houma territory. Another screen set up for Pritchett. The RPO goes nowhere. Just his 2nd grab of the day for only 4 yards. Pretty lackluster performance for him, but Andrew Bench, Ivory are all getting involved here. So is Voisin and DJ Thomas Jones. 3rd and 7, and there's a scramble from Lopez. He's got the first down. We talked about how this guy can beat you in just many ways. Through the air, on the ground, RPOs, play fakes. A lot of different ways for him to make the defense pay. 10 to go here in this one. It's still a 6-0, but the Jaguars are driving. Lopez finds a crease and is going to gain 5 out of this run. Just inside the 10. They give it to Pritchett. Inside the 5, and tackle made by Van Claiborne, but now goal to go. McReynolds finds the end zone. Touchdown, South Alabama. And just like against the Michigan Wolverines, the defense holds them to their first touchdown in the 4th quarter, but the offense is nowhere to be found. Pretty much a repeat performance of that game, at least to this point. And they will go for 2 to make it 14-0. Up the middle, they convert. If we don't score here, then the odds of winning go way down as pressure comes off the edge. Wesley Miller, the backup safety, gets home, and Olsen is taken down for the 4th time in the game. It's a loss of 8. Olsen just stumps it off for Scott McLawler. He jukes for some reason and still gains 7 yards out of it to bring up 3rd and 11. I think our average 3rd down conversion needed to be like 10 plus yards as that one is picked off. Reggie Neely with the INT, and South Alabama takes over at the Houma 20-yard line. And that was our 3rd turnover of the game. Just trying to do too much, forcing this ball to Scooter Page over the top, and Neely just undercuts the routes. And we're in danger of going down by 3 scores. Nice tackle there in the backfield by Bowie. But if our defense cannot force a turnover here, then it will be a 3-score game regardless of what else they can muster up. That one's batted down by Terrell Pace. 13 yards to go on 3rd down. Lopez feels the pressure and just gets rid of it. We do hold these guys to another field goal attempt, but this time it is up and good from 40 yards away. 17-0. We just gotta hope the offense can come to life here late and mount a comeback of some sort. Under 6 to play, probably our last chance to really get points on the board and make things interesting. Let's check down to Strickland. Nice tackle there on the outside. On 2nd down, up the seam, it's McLawler for a 1st down. up to 5 receptions for 55 yards. Now over the middle, it's Williamson for a nice gain of, like, I want to say 20 or so. Now just over 4 to go. Pressure coming deep down the field. It's broken up, intended for Scooter Page, who had 2 or 3 steps on his matchup. 2nd and 10. Olsen, incomplete. McClawler cannot hang on to it. That brings up another 3rd and long. We fake the toss, and pressure gets home. The ball is out, and it's recovered by South Alabama. And that is going to end this game. Our 3rd turnover in this home game. Vincent Dobson with the sack. And this game ends 17-0. Houma held scoreless here at home. It is our first home loss of the entire dynasty. What a change from last week putting up 34 against a ranked opponent to now putting up 0 against our first Sun Belt Conference matchup. Definitely a day to forget for the offense. The defense, they tried their best. Simply put, this was our sloppiest game by far the entire year. It was our first game with a turnover since week 1, and we had 3 of them. That fumble on the first drive did not help, and we barely got the ball into Strickland's hands afterwards because we were losing for the rest of the game. And we tried to spread the ball around, but Foreman was less involved, Page was less involved. Just an all-around really bad game. The defense tried their best, but the offense gave them no chance, despite us getting like 4 sacks. But we allowed like 5. And Olsen did not have a good day, I don't think, with the pick, obviously, plus the fumble. But on the ball too long a couple of times. Plus, we absolutely shanked a kick with Ian Wells, and that did not help. And we put up 0 points for the first time in this dynasty. Not how you want to come out after we nearly upset Iowa State on the road last episode. Tough game. We do have some good news though, folks. We are currently first in influence for Ben Nimbet, and we are first in influence for left guard Jalen Abiamiri. Number 2 right now for Gordon Godfrey, with New Mexico State heavily in first place and close to earning that verbal commitment. I want to focus on other corners here in recruiting. And despite the loss, Deshaun Weeks wins Defensive Player of the Week in this Week 6 game against South Alabama, but it was our 3rd straight loss after a 2-0 start to the dynasty. After 3 straight L's, we go into another road game here against the Texas State Bobcats. It's gonna be Bobcat on Bobcat crime here in week number 7, folks. I'll see y'all there. Thanks for watching as always. Please like the video, subscribe if you're new, and stay tuned for more action here in the Houma Teambuilder Dynasty on College Football 25. Trying to get our first win in the conference next time out. I'll see y'all there. Take care. Have a great day.